Owen packed his tights with a bunch of like the hot, rotted fruit that was left over, watermelons, things like that, and also coffee grounds I think he had in there. And he had this stuff packed in a certain place in his tights. And at one point in the match, he did this thing where he had, I guess it was kind of like a camel clutch maneuver, where he had Lex Luger stretched out and in a chin lock, and what he did is he reached in and he grabbed this fruit and the coffee and he smeared it in Lex's face. You know, and these people the crowd had no clue what was going on. They didn't know. I mean, you know, this is the Philippines, so they didn't even know how to react. They were just sitting there stunned, like, what's going on? And then another thing, in the opposite tag teams, you had Owen Hart on this tag team and you had Davey Boy in this tag team. And they were in cahoots to rib Lex Luger as well, where they would do a spot where Davey would come in the ring and fire up on Owen, boom, 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 and he would press Owen up and boom, and he'd slam him, right? And then as part of the spot, they would switch out and Lex would come in, and what was supposed to happen is he was supposed to press Owen up as well and look strong, and Owen would completely just sandbag him, deadweight him, so he couldn't even press Owen. Lex couldn't even press Owen over his head, and he just kind of fell. He dropped him, and Lex was just like dejected, and Owen just said, "Get out, get out!" He threw him out of the ring. He said, "Get out of the ring!" So Lex was just like, ah.
And I guess he jumped to WCW shortly after.
You know, this is an interesting story too, because I talk about like some of the stuff with me and Bret Hart where I think he was winding me up. I heard a conversation we were in a minivan. It was me and Bret and Owen and Davey, and I remember Davey talking to Bret about like ways that he was winding up Lex Luger and getting him frustrated. And Lex ended up leaving the company. And I think he took, in some strange way, Davey took a little bit of pride in the fact that he wound up Lex to the point where he got pissed off about the money and the work and his spot, and that's it. And he got out of there and he jumped to WCW.
Sounds like a lot like what Bret was doing to you.
That's exactly right.